In 1999, Nickelodeon would debut a show titled The Amanda Show, a sketch comedy show that featured the likes of Amanda Bynes, Drake Bell, and Josh Peck. The show lasted from 1999 to 2002, and in the brief time of its existence, the show was able to create some of the weirdest and just most nonsensical content that I have personally ever seen. Watching this show feels like an honest-to-God fever dream. So for today, I would like to show you guys how weird this show could get. Firstly, I want to talk about the characters and how hilariously awful some of them are. The first one that comes to my mind is Courtney, a character that looks fresh out of your worst nightmare. All of her sketches consisted of her irritating another person to the point to where they completely snap and just jet from the scene. Her tactics range from pouring gravy on them, shaving them, or completely removing the person's underwear clean from their body without even tearing it. Courtney is truly a chaotic god, and we should all cower when she mutters her signature catchphrase. You ready for this? Merha. I'm not kidding. That's actually her catchphrase. Another character worth mentioning is Debbie, whose trait is that she's brain dead. That's literally the whole joke. And her catchphrase is, I like eggs. There really aren't any other jokes besides those two. You know, I think I'm losing IQ points the more and more I talk about this show. Now, those were pretty awful, but it's not all trash, just most of the time. One of my favorite characters in the show is Tony Pajamas, an Italian mobster with his sidekick Paulie. You know, even before they were on Drake and Josh, both of them have amazing chemistry together, even here, and just bounce off each other so well, especially in these skits. My favorite is when Tony and Paulie babysit for someone and a rival mob shows up to do like a drive-by on the house, but instead of guns, they use eggs, and Paulie gets hit, and Tony acts like he's dead, and just leaves him there to die, I guess. Now, those were the characters, but what about the sketches themselves? They're not that great. And real quick, I just want to say that I know this show was not made for my age group, but even still, a lot of these sketches really just aren't funny no matter who's watching them. On the other hand, some of these skits are so out there in terms of creativity that they'll just leave you baffled. Probably the weirdest segments of the show are the fake trailers, and these are just completely ridiculous. There's the Super Spitballer 5000 that launches massive projectile spitballs at speed and even comes with, quote, a gallon of fresh spit. Another skit that comes to my mind is When Brady's Attack, where a news anchor talks about how the Brady Bunch is literally just going around and assaulting people for no reason. They assault a Chinese delivering man, a woman and two kids driving home from baseball practice, until finally raiding the news studio just to dance on stage, which makes me think, did the Bradys assault a bunch of innocent people just so they could dance on the news when they inevitably talked about them? It really makes you think. But none of these skits can even hold a candle to the Amanda Show's magnum opus, Popper Pants. It's pants made out of aluminum that are filled with corn kernels, and when a button on the belt is pressed, they pop, and the popcorn is consumed through the seat of the pants. What in the world? Just look at this. They show this to kids. This has got to be some kind of fetish, ladies and gentlemen. Clothes filled with food that is then consumed by ill-knowledge individuals who have no idea that they're near the danger zone and are seeping closer to the point of no return. But they crave, they hunger for exploded kernels dwelling deep within the britches of another eager soul. Am I tripping off acid right now? The Amanda Show is the most mind-boggling show I've ever seen. Dozens of shows try to appear smart to their viewers by making them wonder and second-guess everything they've known up until that point. But the Amanda Show is so brilliant in its structure and writing that it doesn't even have to try, as the viewer is felt so dumbfounded and baffled that they are left completely and utterly desensitized from the real world and can no longer distinguish fantasy from reality. It is truly the smartest show to ever exist. And that is why the Amanda Show is really weird, and I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't talked about Moody's Point, I haven't talked about Block Blister, I haven't talked about the super duper restaurants. It's just, there's so much stuff to unveil. It goes 5 layers deep, but with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, and I'll see you next time.